for the masters, the cost of attendance, like when I say cost of attendance, what does it mean? It means the entire amount of money that you will spend when you are going and studying for masters. That is the total cost of attendance. It really depends on the program. For example, MEM programs might be more expensive than MS programs in some of the cases. MIM programs are definitely more expensive than MS itself. So based on the certain type of the program to which you're applying, the cost will change. The now cost per credit hour is what the university charges you by. That will change. The duration of the course and the number of credits that you have to take. Okay, see, in some courses, and even the credits measurement is very different in different places. Do not worry too much about it. Typically in the US, you might be like, for example, in Michigan, you have to take 30 credits. Only then you will be qualified for the MS application. Sorry, MS thing. And for PhD, you have to take like 68 course credits or something like that. So that's what we mean. So then how long does it take to finish 30 credits? That's what is like, decides the duration of the course. Okay. So typically 3 semesters, 4 semesters, 2 years, 1 year. So how long does it take? So that is going to decide your literally your tuition, how many semesters do you have to pay the tuition for, and then of course your living expenses. Then whether it's a private university or a public university changes. And if you're a US citizen, like whether you're in state, out of state changes. Definitely the country changes. Like Germany is very different. Germany, you don't have to pay the tuition fees. But this year they have changed. Last 2 years they changed the policy. You do have to pay a little bit of things. And you do need to have like living expenses everywhere in the world. That's there. And of course, exchange rates are something which are very important. See, for example, UK is also super expensive, and then US and Australia, and then other places and so on. Okay, so it really depends on a lot of different factors. Now, for PhD, what typically happens for PhD is the professor will fund you. Typically, okay, please note my word. Very critical word. However, I do know instances where the student has to go and apply for grants and then get the money for their own PhD. So that is also there. So they will like work on applying for a project sponsor or somebody, and then they get the money. Okay, but typically for PhD students, the money comes from the professor. All right, and how does a professor get the money? Through the industry projects that they have, and of course some funding that's allotted to them by the university itself for some research. Okay, and the projects like other things and so on. So that's how the professor gets the money, right? So but then like say living expenses are all these things you guys know. You're not like any novice. If you've been living in hostels, you know like how much does it cost, etc, etc, etc. But the thing is that when you're living abroad, it costs a lot more. Okay, and depending on which city and which place you're living, it really can cost a lot.